Okay, since I couldn't find anything on the internet or on YouTube about, like, if you put in the search, why does my Volkswagen die when I come to a stop, you're gonna get a myriad of crap, and none of it seemed to help me. I'm not saying this is the end all be all, but I'm saying this is my story, and I hope it helps you. If it does, leave a comment in the comments below. Love to answer any questions on what I did, what I found. So I'm gonna run you through how I diagnosed what I found, the help that I got to diagnose it, and the process. Obviously, we're still mid-process because the tank isn't in. So we'll just get right to it and I'll tell you what happened. So this is after all of our process of cleaning, etc. Nice raw metal in there. No more varnish or gunk. There's a little bit of pitting to the metal, but it is super clean now. There used to be huge chunks. Had it not been raining where I was rinsing, I'd show you how big the chunks were. What we decided to use to initially get all of the varnished fuel out, thanks to a YouTube video on how to remove varnished fuel, MEK was what we used. This stuff's pretty expensive, between $10 and $15 a quart. So this is what it looks like after it comes out of the tank and it is melted all the varnish away. It's actually a clear fluid used for thinning paints and cleaning paint guns and things like that. Then after we rinsed all of that out, I went with about a 75% to 25% phosphoric acid mix, water and phosphoric acid, mixed around in there. And both times I put these bolts in, bolts and nuts, I counted them, 10 of each, so that it could bust off, knock loose, bang around with this material in there, rinsed it out, rinsed it with water, added this material, banged it around, rinsed it out, kept rinsing it out with water. This is the material, this is the phosphoric acid mix after it has done a chemical, almost like a chemical peel to the inside of the tank. Basically that would stop the rust and eat the rust, and it did a really good job. So that's what we did, is first washed it out with water, got the big chunks, then put the MEK in and the nuts and bolts, banged it around a bunch, poured it out, rinsed that out, added the phosphoric acid with the nuts and bolts, banged that around, emptied it out, rinsed it out, and now we're at the point where we're drying it. But anyway, did a really good job. So initially I thought I could get away with using the tank. We drained the tank when we first got this bug. This is probably the third set of fuel filters, and I've been running 2 in line because I thought, oh, I'll just catch all the crud that's in there. Look at that sediment. This is coming right off the tank. This is after just 20 miles of driving. It flooded it with that much crap in it. And then this, all the way back at the engine bay, is what it caught. You can see that it's discolored from the bottom up, sitting up like this. So fuel comes in from the bottom, comes out the top, and goes to the carburetor, or to the fuel pump. So anyway, we realized quickly that that wasn't working. This junk was making it past the filter and into the carburetor. And right here is our idle jet. I would pull that out and douche it out with carb cleaner, thinking it was getting clogged up. That's why when you'd come to a stop, it would die, but it would idle and run and drive fine. But when you're coming to a stop and it would switch from getting fuel off the primary or whatever jet, and then it would switch over, it would die because that was getting clogged up. Well, it actually wasn't that. Inside this hat, I'll try and find a picture. There's another jet, cut to the picture that I took. And that was getting clogged up and causing the problem. So I kept having to pull the carburetor apart because I didn't realize that fuel that was varnished, chunks of it, were getting past these 2 filters. So that's what we found was the problem. So we're switching it out and we'll see what happens. Looks like it made it to its first day of high school with a 16-year-old driver, in spite of the fact that it's raining and cold. We'll have to ask him how it ran on the way to school. Whoop whoop! She made it. So just to recap, the tank was getting clogged up and clogging up the fuel filters. That was making it to the idle jets inside, and this is why, because of the varnish in the tank, all the junk. This is the fuel sending unit, obviously all clogged up. Cool little filter I used to back flush the lines. This is what came out of those lines. So she's all cleaned up now, and now the main problem is the son of a gun leaks from the low side of the tank bung. What the actual heck? Don't worry, we'll get it figured out. Stay tuned. We will win.